Today is the 23rd of July, 2025. Just doing another little update for the day. Just really want to talk about my plan and my future for my own business. How eventually my long-term goal is to get to 6 figures a month. Not long-term, but my goal is to get to 6 figures a month with the business. So just wanted to share with you my insight, my strategy and my idea on how I'm planning to do that. So if anybody doesn't know me, my name is Alex and Josh for short. Most people call me Alexi. I run my own marketing agency. I specialise in helping coaches, helping them with ads, lead gen, overall client acquisition. And I've just used this channel to track the behind the scenes of my journey rather than the more business side of stuff. But so I'm at a really cool place in my business. I'm very, very grateful. I've got to a point where before I was stuck at, well, even this time last year, I was only doing about 3 to 5k a month. So I wasn't like, don't get me wrong, that's still good compared to like the 9 to 5 job I was in, but it's not crazy numbers. Now, this year I've been able to get to 5 figures, multi-5 figures a month, which is cool. And the last couple of months I've been doing around 20 to 30k a month, which is insane. Really, really cool. Very, very grateful. And we're at a very good point. Now, the only issue is, oh, someone's just stopped in the middle of the road and holding me up. The only issue is that now there's no issue, but now obviously I'm trying to get to the next level. I'm trying to pursue it, level myself up. And obviously, like I said, to get from 20 to 30 to 100 is a big jump, and eventually we need to start hiring. Now, the reason this has come to my mind, right, is one of the clients that I'm working with, really, really cool niche. He's helping people land jobs in the football industry. I've helped him to 5x his monthly revenue. And we've done that in about 3 months of working together. Now, not only that, but I've also then helped him to hire 2 full-time employees. So he's got a appointment setter, so somebody booking in his calls, and he's also got a closer, so somebody who is obviously converting the calls for him, right? And I've been helping him a little bit in terms of helping him to train them, helping him to make sure his processes are right and getting the most out of his conversion and booking as many calls as he can and making sure the closers convert as many as he can as possible. And I've actually really, really enjoyed doing it. And sort of the realization that I actually had for myself is like, although I've got a business, I don't at the same time, because I've got to an amazing point, but I've done it all on my own, which there's nothing wrong with. But for me to get to the next level and like seeing how I've helped this client evolve and grow himself, like for me now, I want to start hiring properly in that sense as well. Don't get me wrong, I've got an editor, I've outsourced some of these smaller tasks, but I want to start outsourcing these needle moving tasks. Now, so I've got to pull together a plan to do that, because at the moment, because my service is very high ticket, right? My calendar doesn't need to be packed out, and I'm doing 20, 30k a month. Because of my conversion rate and high ticket and things like that. Now, I know my cost per acquisition very well, but the next thing now that I'm looking to do and my plan of I want to get to that 6 figure mark is as follows. So I think the first thing for me is actually just going to be really ramping up my ad spend. So the last few months I've had really, really good cash months and really built up the business pot in terms of what I can invest, what I can put into it, and what I can use to grow it. Right now, for me, client acquisition, don't get me wrong, we've got some referrals. I do some cold emails on the side and I get a few calls from that every month. But the main focus for me for client acquisition is advertising. So my first port of call, so to speak, is to really ramp up my ad spend. So what's weird is I took a small break from ads this month just because I had to sort some stuff out. My campaign sort of died out as it was. And then I've decided to run this mastermind event. I've decided to run a re-offer. So I've still actually had a record month this month, even though I haven't had any I haven't run any ads. So my plan going forward now is to really ramp up ad spends. Like I said, I was doing 3k a month in ads. And from that, I'd probably average out getting about 2 to 3 clients. My cost per acquisition is sitting around 1,000. It averages out to. So some months it's been a bit slower, like I say, and I get get 2 clients. Others I get 4. But it averages out to about £1,000 per client on ads. So every £1,000 I spend, I get a customer, which is worth to me about 4,500. So I've got a good ROAS. I've got a good cost per acquisition. Someone's calling me. I'll call them back in a bit. But the main thing now for me is I really need to ramp it up. So obviously before I can hire a setter, before I can hire a closer, which will be my first hires, I assume, I need to fill up my calendar. So I'm going to go all in on, my plan going forward now is to go all in on ad spend for myself. So I'm going to ramp up my monthly ad spend to start off with to about 5k a month. So I should get from that 5 to 6 new customers in the month, let's say 5 on the low end. And from those 5, like I say, from those 5 customers, that'll be at least minimum sort of 25k in revenue. And then I'm just going to slowly start ramping it up, right? Once I find the winners, I'm going to ramp it up. And then essentially my goal is to pack out my calendar and pack it out to a point where a closer is coming on board. Now, most closers need to be on an offer where the calendar's full, and I wouldn't want to hire a closer before the calendar is full. So, like I say, first step would be to ramp that up. So I reckon I need to be getting at least sort of 20 calls a week, which is about 4 a day. My cost per call is between 100 to 150 pounds. So what's that? 20, 40, 80 times. So yeah, so I eventually need to ramp it up to 8k a month in ad spend. That's going to lead to at least 8 customers. That's going to lead to at least 40k a month. 40k a month, 32k profit. Then that's the time to ramp up a closer. So my first step in getting to that point, the 6 figure a month mark, is, like I say, really ramping up that ad spend for myself. Now, once I've ramped up the ad spend, and once the calendar is full, that is then when we'll look at a setter or a closer, depending on what type of runs of ads that I'm running, probably both. And then once I've got both a setter and closer in place, we've got that consistency. We're about, like I say, we're hitting 30s to 40s now instead of 20 to 30s. Then I can really start dumping more cash into ads and just keep ramping it. And obviously in between that, we're going to be getting referrals. I'm going to invest a lot of time into my agency YouTube channel to try and get more inbound traffic through that. And then obviously we have a bit of emails. So that's going to be my plan. Now, the details of how that looks between, we'll find out along the way. But that's going to be my plan, is really relaunch my campaigns, really scale that up. Once we're at a consistent point with calls, leads, etc., get a setter in, get a closer in, train them up, and then keep ramping it up like that. So yeah, it's quite an exciting point now, because I think I've broke the barrier. Well, I'm well past the barrier of like being a beginner and just making my first few good months. I'm well past that point. I've got a proven service now. I've got tons of results. I know what I need to do now. It's just about deploying the cash and implementing and scaling it further. So yeah, that is the plan now going forward, of pretty much exactly what I need to do to take this to the next level. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting now. This is where it's going to start feeling like a proper business rather than just having like a glorified job, if that makes sense. So because yeah, at the moment, like I say, I don't mind it, but I've been in the weeds with all of it. I've been the one doing all of the little details and doing every step of the process. And like I say, I want to slowly detach from that. I want to build a business where I've got employees and hires and stuff like that, which is obviously now what we're going to be working to. But yeah, that is the plan going forward. So that is the roadmap I've set to myself. Again, not everything goes as smoothly. I'm sure there will be challenges along the way, as there is with anything when you're trying to step up your business. But yeah, that is what I'm going to be planning to do, and that's going to be my planned roadmap forward, essentially. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. We'll see how it goes. I'll bring you along the way. I've just driven to the gym now, just parked up, so just going to go hit a quick chest session, and then yeah, we'll keep you updated with anything else that happens and keep you along updated on the journey of how it goes to get into that, like I say, that 6-figure a month mark, which is the goal. So let's see how quick we can do it, but I know we'll get there at some point when we detach from the outcome, but we'll just keep working on it. But yeah, there's a little update for today.